currently, if you look at external factor on the economic side, I always keep saying that we are living in VUCA world. You see volatility, you see uncertainty, you see complexity, and you see ambiguity across the globe. You have seen the exchange fluctuating in different markets. You have seen the uncertainty with regard to what happened in Nepal, what's happening on the monsoon, what's happening on the winter, what happened in Haryana. So I think there is a lot of uncertainty going on. There has been a lot of complexities. Most of the laws have come, whether it is a Companies Act, whether it is IFC, whether it is GST. Now we are still unclear when it is going to come. We are talking about BEPS, we are talking about POEM. So a lot of things are happening. There is an ambiguity with regard to the interpretation, whether it is retrospective, possible, not possible. So I think externally there has been a lot of volatility going on around, and that has some implication on the business, especially on the FMCG sector. There are two aspects to this. One is to increasing the top line, and second is to reduce the cost. Both are equally important to have sustainable, profitable growth of an organization, but at the same time, it is very important to manage the working capital most efficiently, so that we can reduce the working capital cycle. We can at every stage, whether it is procurement, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is distribution, whether it is collection, we have to minimize the working capital cycle. We have to reduce the cost at each stage, use the automation in order to minimize the working capital cost, and then plow it back, whether it is with regard to the advertisement and sales promotion expenses, with regard to research and development, with regard to new product launches, etc., so that it can help to accelerate the growth. Even the digitalization, the way it's happening, and the e-commerce, the way it's growing, and the dependency on the digitalization, the most important focus needs to be on the cyber security. Today the data access is easily available, and hence in order to have a proper control, adequate reviews, and timely upgradation of all our automation and the software and the applications becomes extremely important in order to maintain the security, in order to ensure the competitive edge, and in order to make sure that we are advancing in line with the way the world is moving ahead. So I think all these three things are very, very important. And also, in view of the IFC guidelines, we are also working on fraud detection tools, and we are doing a special audit for that. So keeping all those things in mind, we do acknowledge the risk on cyber security, but we are taking adequate actions to prevent and to make sure that we are able to detect in case if that happens. First of all, it is absolutely acknowledged that there is importance of having gender diversity in an organization. As a result of it, at least at the initial stages, it is very clear that there is an adequate representation of the gender diversity in the recruitment of the organization. And even as we grow within the organization and reach at the top, thanks to the Companies Act, which has made mandatory to have a woman director on the board, that I think it is changing. I think we are on the way, we are on the path of coming to a respectable level, and the acknowledgement is there within the organization, and I do hope and see that going forward in future, more and more balancing of gender diversity that we will see in the organization. Just look at it, it's going to be implemented from the next financial year 16-17, and assessment year 17-18. So therefore, keeping that in mind, we are already in discussion with the consultants. We have formed a team, and we are working towards the compilation of the information and the implications on that on the organization. Having said that, I think more or less what we understand is we do not see any significant implications of that to our organization, but in terms of the information compilation, we will have to make some modifications, and we are working on it, and as and when the rule gets finalized and it's approved, we would be in a position to implement them in time. it's a great forum to interact with very talented and experienced CFOs in this forum. So I think that's a great platform for exchange of views and exchange of ideas. And second is to acknowledge their contribution and acknowledge their achievements. I think it is a great way of encouraging the CFO community with regard to their performing better and better, especially in the circumstances where the external environment is changing very fast and the role of CFO is also changing very fast.